Scotland is essentially like Stalinist Russia without the hope of being exiled to Siberia. We are so downtrodden as a people that in 2012 we became the only country in the world to vote against regaining our own independence. I don't have much time, stop clapping. And to the fucking English of all people, they've gone. This was going to be better. The English and their crack-addled brothers, the Welsh. I think. The English national anthem should genuinely consist of the words "I'm sorry" in 1/3 of the languages in the world. Anyway, I come from Glasgow. Now, Glasgow is the only place in the world I can think of where you can add the word "smile" to the end of it, and people automatically assume you're talking about being stabbed in the face. It's the only city, along with Belfast, where the orange man on traffic lights is still a contentious issue to this day. Our tourist board, a long while ago now, came up with the slogan, "Glasgow's miles better." But we couldn't finish that sentence. Presumably because nobody could think of anything credible to go after the end of it. I imagine there was a meeting where it's like, "Oh, we're better than Ebola, lads, but no miles." I really don't mean to speak badly of Scotland, I love that place. I mean, we have loads of redeeming features, like iron brew, heroin, the ability to condense hundreds of years of religious bigotry into the form of a football match. If anybody actually wants to understand Rangers versus Celtic, by the way, if there's a Space Jam style situation where an invading alien force came down and the only way to get them off the planet was for the Rangers football team to beat them in a game, the boys are cheering on the monsters. Of course, as Rangers fans cheer on an invading alien force every single week. God save that Queen! So yeah, dark people. But I'll give you an example, Luke. I was in a Chinese in Glasgow, and I was sitting there waiting for my carry-out at the end of the night, and this Ned walks in, what you'd call a knacker, but we'd call a non-educated delinquent. And he looks at the menu, and he pulls his eyes slanted, for want of a better word, and he says, "Can I have a seat and a chicken, please, pal?" It's one of those moments, I think it was probably only about 5 seconds, but it felt like an eternity, before the man behind the counter pulled his eyes open and in a broad Scottish accent said, "Fuck off!" In Glasgow, I have genuinely seen a woman make her infant child walk on the road alongside her while she wheeled the crate of tenants in the pram. So, you know, dark but humble, grounded, down-to-earth people. Like, the junkies will steal your wallet, but they'll help you look for it. One of the worst lies we ever tell ourselves is that we can be anything that we want to be, that we can be special, as long as we work hard enough, because we can't and we shouldn't try. Except the front row here is a bit special, but that's a different type of connotation. Look, my dad taught me 3 things in life before he left us to take up a job selling the Big Issue on a full-time basis. He said, 1, son, you're an ugly boy, you'll be an ugly man, I'm sorry about that. 2, how to French kiss. 3, never generalise. And those 3 rules have kept me humble to this day. Certainly more so than anybody else here in the room. I'm sorry, that's a shit joke, I know it's a shit joke. Like, obviously that kind of upbringing has made me incredibly happy as a person, or dead, you know, it's that kind of thing. And that is to this day my biggest regret, because I had no pain to turn into art. I've had to work hard to get this miserable life. A period in my early 20s where I turned to alcoholism to overcome my dependency on born-again Christianity. Through sheer force of will, I managed to age myself like Robin Williams in the movie Jack. At the age of 28, I look like a fucking Chernobyl survivor. I all the grace of Andy Murray, sorry, all the grace of a wardrobe falling down a set of stairs and the charisma of Andy Murray and Valium. It's not an easy life, but it has, as I said, kept me humble. And I honestly think, at this stage, humility is a virtue that we're losing. I think the death knell for humility was the date that selfie entered the Oxford English Dictionary. There is a large part of me that thinks, who the fuck are you sharing that photograph with if you don't have anybody to hold the camera? A lot of people blame Trump. I think Trump isn't the problem, Trump is the symptom. Trump's like kind of a super gonorrhea of morality. H.L. Mencken, the esteemed journalist, once said, democracy is going to lead us to the president that we deserve. And we deserve Trump. The problem is actually us. We have stopped becoming human beings and we're starting to be aspiring brands. We've stopped living and we started advertising. I saw a Scottish comedian about 2 years ago. I don't know why I say he's Scottish, he's just better than you. I saw a Scottish comedian around about 2 years ago. And he talked about discovering unconditional love. Now, I'm not a particularly sentimental man. I still think that love is a device invented by bank managers to make us overdrawn. But he talked at length about how he discovered unconditional love when he was having a bath with his infant daughter. And his daughter... Come on, she was a fucking chance. And his daughter took a shite in the bath. And that unconditional love to him was the fact that he thumbed that shite in the plug hole without batting an eyelid. And that touched me. I think that's a really touching story. But in the 2 years since I saw that, I have seen the Americans elect a president that is probably the only president in the history of the world to have written more books than he's read. I have seen a haunted tree take Britain through Brexit in the most appalling fashion. I have seen the Daily Mail, I've seen the Daily Mail, a newspaper whose readership manages to complete on a daily basis the feat of mental gymnastics of both feeling sympathy for the migrants that drown and resentment for those that survive, become the most read newspaper in the world online. And I kind of think to myself, maybe the real act of unconditional love would have just been to stand up and walk out of the bath and leave her to drown in her own shite. Like the rest of us. And thank you very much. You've been a wonderful...